This is Real News Media TV, coverage you can trust. Please like, share, subscribe, and hit the notification bell. Select all for daily news updates. Constable charged in relation to alleged abuse of girlfriend. The policeman who was arrested 2 weeks ago after being accused of physically assaulting his girlfriend has been charged with various offenses by the Area 2 Police. Constable Ryan Anderson, who is attached to the Portland Division, was charged last weekend following a ruling by the Director of Public Prosecutions. He is facing charges of rape, grievous sexual assault, 3 counts of assault occasioning bodily harm, unlawful wounding, and the malicious destruction of property. The St. Mary Police commenced an investigation after the woman filed a criminal complaint. It was reported that during the period November 13 to 29, the woman was handcuffed and severely beaten after she was accused of being unfaithful. It's alleged that she was repeatedly kicked and struck in the face with a bottle. The constable has reportedly denied the allegations. St. James, a taxi driver charged with abduction and rape. 24-year-old Shamar Winter, a taxi operator of Tank Road in Cambridge, St. James, was arrested and charged with forcible abduction and rape following an incident in his community on Monday, December 13. Reports from the St. James Center for the Investigation of Sexual Offenses and Child Abuse are that a teenager was walking along the roadway when she was offered a ride by Winter. Winter subsequently drove to a lonely area in the community where he raped the teen. A report was made to the police and an investigation launched. Winter was arrested on Thursday, December 16, along Barrett Street in the parish after he was pointed out by the teen. He was later charged. His court date is being finalized. American dies in Negril by crash. An American woman's Christmas visit with her Jamaican relatives was cut short when she died in a motor vehicle crash in Negril on Monday night. She has been identified as 46-year-old Erica Wedderburn from Oregon, USA. According to the police, Wedderburn was heading from the Negril Town Center towards Lemarage Hotel when she lost the control of the motorcycle she was driving and crashed into a section of the hotel's wall. She received head and facial injuries and was pronounced dead at the scene of the crash. Inspector Gregory Hall, head of the Westmoreland Traffic and Town Enforcement Unit, is encouraging motorists to be extra careful during the holidays. In this season, there is always an uptick in the number of accidents. I beseech road users to be cautious, he said. 3 killed across western Jamaica on Monday night. Gunmen struck in western Jamaica on Monday night, leaving at least 3 people dead following separate shooting incidents in St. James and Westmoreland. One of the deceased individuals has been identified as 48-year-old Anthony Doman, a farmer of Akiwok in Roehampton, St. James. According to police reports, Doman was in his yard about 8 p.m. when he was pounced upon by gunmen who shot him several times. He was later pronounced dead at hospital. Over in Westmoreland, 2 persons were gunned down at a football field in Kingswood in the parish also on Monday night. While confirming the incident, the Corporate Communications Unit, the police's information arm, said details surrounding the shooting were not available. The identities of those killed were also not available, though sources told the news that a woman was among those killed. Up to Saturday, Westmoreland and St. James have recorded 123 and 155 murders respectively. Westmoreland in particular have been rocked by several murders recently, including the grisly killings of 2 goat farmers last week. Labor Ministry to phase in monthly NIS pension payments beginning January. Beginning in January, the Ministry of Labor and Social Security will start to transition pension payments for National Insurance Scheme pensioners who use the pension order books. This was disclosed by Permanent Secretary in the Ministry, Colette Roberts-Risden, during a recent interview with the news. She explained that historically, NIS pensioners would get their payment via vouchers in pension order books, totaling up to 13 vouchers fortnightly over 6 months. However, since the coronavirus pandemic, they have been allowed to collect 2 or 3 payments in one. With this new thrust, we are moving to pay our pensioners 12 vouchers, one for each month instead. This would be in keeping with what has been happening over the past 1 year and 9 months with the early encashment of pension vouchers, Roberts Risden said. The phased implementation beginning in January will be done depending on the payment cycle. There are 6 payment cycles reflected by a letter at the end of the pension number assigned to each pensioner. Pensioners who are to receive their new pension order books in January 2022 will receive the first set of 6 voucher pension order books. This will continue until June 2022, at which time the NIS pension population paid by this method would have been phased to the 6th voucher pension order book. The Permanent Secretary is assuring pensioners and all NIS beneficiaries that this transition will not change the amount they receive annually. Meanwhile, she is encouraging NIS pensioners who are not registered with the direct deposit program to do so. Roberts Risden said that for the past 3 years, the NIS has been encouraging new pensioners to utilize the direct deposit facility to collect their pensions, which means payments will be sent directly to their bank account. She explained that the new thrust is in keeping with the move that was started years ago to have a single payment each month to NIS pensioners. We recognize, however, that there are pensioners who do not have bank accounts or, depending on their age and stage in life, may find it difficult to manage a bank account, and as such, there will always be pensioners who collect their pension using the pension order books. Roberts Risden said that the transition to a single pension order voucher is also in a bid to reduce the number of times the pensioners must go out to the post office. It is our intention to make it easier on the pensioners, she noted. DPP wants more information on case involving Nzinga King. The Director of Public Prosecutions has requested more information from Indicom in the case involving Nzinga King, the Rastafarian woman who claimed she was trimmed while in police custody. DPP Paula Llewellyn told the news that she wrote to Indicom last week and is awaiting a response. Indicom recently reported that a file on its probe into allegations of assault and unprofessional conduct by the police was submitted to the DPP for a ruling last month. Indicom had cautioned that any ruling of the DPP will not affect Ms. King's ability to pursue civil remedies. Ms. King said her locks were cut while she was being held at the Four Paths police station in Clarendon on July 22. Postal worker cleared of drug trafficking charge. A postal worker who was charged 2 years ago with attempting to smuggle millions of dollars worth of ganja through a courier service company in Kingston was on Tuesday freed of drug trafficking charges. St. Pete Morgan, 43, was freed in the St. Andrew Parish Court after his attorney Richard Lynch challenged the prosecution's case. Prosecutors had told the court that in April 2019, Mr. Morgan attempted to ship 20 pounds of ganja to Canada. He was charged several months later following an investigation by the narcotics police. At his trial, Mr. Morgan maintained that he did not know ganja was in the package. He said a family member asked him to send the package because of his knowledge of the postal service. His attorney urged the judge to dismiss the case on the basis that prosecutors failed to prove he had knowledge of the drugs in the package. The judge agreed and ordered Mr. Morgan's release. 38 new COVID-19 cases, 1 more death. 1 more COVID-19 death has been recorded in Jamaica, increasing the tally to 2,450. The deceased is a 79-year-old man from St. Mary. Meanwhile, there were 38 new cases with ages ranging from 2 to 90 years, pushing the total to 92,127. Of the new infection, 22 are women and 16 are men. The parish breakdown is as follows: St. James 7, St. Mary 7, Kingston and St. Andrew 6, St. Thomas 5, Manchester 4, St. Elizabeth 3, St. Catherine 1, Trelawney 1, St. Anne 1, Hanover 1, Portland 1, Clarendon 1, and Westmoreland recorded no new cases. a total of 871 tests were conducted. The country's positivity rate stands at 4.6%. In the meantime, there were 296 more recoveries, increasing the total to 64,300. Some 97 persons are in hospital, with 22 being moderately ill, 11 severely ill, and 2 critically ill. One person is in government quarantine, while 18,847 are at home. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and hit the notification bell. Select all for daily news updates.